I think we are all having a particularly special Lent this year. For me, it is also a time when I am allowed to devote myself to deep reflection and silence, while honestly praying that I can go to the altar of the Lord. In general, this is because we live in a dangerous era where infectious diseases do not subside. Worldwide anxiety and sadness in the face of the horrors of war may also be the cause. And it must be because ordinary people, including me, experience or watch the phenomena of dictators and powerful oppressing the weak in various places, and the anguish deepens indescribably. In the face of such circumstances, I was immersed in meditation with the hope that it would be a time to looking God at everything that is woven in our lives, such as existence, life, human beings, and relationships. The story of the day I live and breathe is called an existential problem in a grandiose way. After all, it is my story and your story. The story eventually teaches us that life is a journey of challenge, where we have to constantly find out who we are and how to live. There is nothing more precious than accepting deeply that I am a precious being. As he looked on, he was surprised to see that the bush, though on fire, was not consumed. The Church also interprets these words metaphorically when explaining the doctrine of the belief of the Virgin Mary. The life of Our Lady, who was created to become the Mother of God in a virginal body, conceived and gave birth to the Lord, and actually completely followed the Lord, was as dynamic as it was engulfed in flames. However, the virginity of Our Lady was not only unspoiled and shown in the providence of God's love and mercy, which transcends human understanding, but also her holiness was recognized through her Son, Christ the Lord. In the same way, each of us experiences the heat of the flames of our weakness, conflict, wounds, and anguish as human beings. But we must remember that we breathe in the mercy of God, who protects us from being burned. We must also keep in mind that this is our constant invitation to live up to God's purpose in life and to bear good fruit in the world. However, it is up to us to decide what kind of fruit we will bear at this time. All ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from a spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock was Christ. Whoever thinks he is standing secure should take care not to fall. God has implanted a blessed soul in everyone, and He has generously granted the blessing of a humble conscience and rational judgment in each soul. It is so that whoever listens to his soul obtains life from the fountain of truth flowing from Christ the rock, and makes a choice that will bear good fruit. Accordingly, we entrust our judgment to the Lord, and we have the duty of love to make choices and actions that are worthy of our existence on the borderline between good and evil, so as not to fall off. The evil in the world, and the violence as a result, the ugly history of hiding one's selfishness behind power, the hypocrisy that pretends to be holy, and the wounds of a false love that stops with declarations and does not move with actions. Aren't these negative fruits the result of pride and self-will, either turning away from Christ the rock or forgetting the voice of conscience created out of love, the essence of God? If you do not repent, you will all perish as they did. Today the Lord illuminates our lives by giving the parable of the fig tree that does not bear fruit. We all know that good fruit is produced on the basis of good conditions, adequate sunlight and wind, and nutrient and moisture-rich soil. But all of this has already been granted by the mercy of God. However, in order to produce more abundant and good fruit, there must be a distance between one another that must be maintained so that the wind passes between one another, so that there may be ventilation. Therefore, he reminds us that sometimes it is necessary to discern what needs to be cut, even at the cost of suffering. Cut it down. Why should it exhaust the soil? This is by no means an expression of the Lord's hard heart aimed at cutting. It is an earnest expression of love to protect the one precious life that has been given to us so that it does not burn in flames. He is reminding us that it is a precious life that needs to be spiritually full and healthy, so that we can pick out the things that hurt ourselves and bear more abundant fruit. During the time God created me, allowed me to work on this earth, I need to cultivate a pure and precious essence so that my existence can contain the light and give it to the people I'll meet. The answer of this life is repentance for us to come to God.